And we get back into this business challenge. I hope y'all had an amazing Labor Day weekend. If you was expecting to be in the challenge, I had to unlock some of them. They was like private, but this is our fourth day, and it's on. This lesson is gonna be on communication. Again, I hope you had an amazing. Um, what today is? The day is the 7th, so that means I owe y'all 4, 5, 3, like 3 days, because it took forever for the third day to load. Okay, so this gonna be our fourth day, and I'm gonna be dropping them. And we're gonna be caught back up because we got 12 days to break through. I don't know where you at in business. I don't know who you know that may need some assistance in their business, but your sister is here. Okay, make sure you join the I Am Tiffany Empowerment family. Make sure you do that. So in this lesson, the outline goes as follow. I'll introduce you to what communication is, what that look like, what is active listening, and building trust and rapport. This is definitely something that I have based my business off of, building that trust factor and building rapport with people. And in communicating, a lot of people, sometimes you build the trust, you build rapport, and then you don't know what to do to effectively. Again, this is business. This is a business challenge. This is a business through, and a lot of breakthroughs in business come when we deal with our internal issues as well, because certain internal issues can hinder you from going to your next. I just want to share that with someone. The learning objectives from this from the lesson today will be, what we're going to do is define communication and realize its importance in dealing with your clients, people, future partners, collaboration opportunities. Also, describe how vocal, and nonverbal communication can affect the communication process in your business setting. So this could be your salon setting, your spa setting, the barbershop, whatever business setting you got going on. Explain what active listening is and why it is useful in the salon and spa setting, or depending on what setting your business is in. Describe ways to build rapport and trust with the client. So these are the objectives, the 4 objectives in this lesson on communication. Let me get my glasses, because I see right now I'm going to need them. I ain't worrying about how these frames look. And I don't know if y'all able to see this or not. So the introduction goes as follows. One of the most important skills you can learn in business and in life is to effectively communicate. Many people talk, lecture, holler, whisper, write, text, or do any of a number of things other than saying something. But the question is, are any of these really methods of communicating? In this lesson, we will look at how to communicate effectively, and how to build relevance, trust, rapport with your clients. The goal is to create a relationship with your clients so that they feel important to you. Trust that you will advise them in the best possible way and follow your advice on their needs. Why are we studying communication? Because you must be able to communicate information effectively to be successful. Okay? This is our breakthrough challenge. The goal is to experience success in your business, and you got to know how to communicate information. Then you access more, another level. You can learn to express yourself effectively by using some basic communication skills. You will build rapport, trust, and relationships with clients by communicating successfully with them, and by doing so, establish a sustainable business. So that's what we want: a sustainable business, strong foundation. The foundation is your people. Without people, do you have a business? You don't got no clients. You ain't selling no contracts. So communication is defined as the ability to transmit information. It's not a one-sided thing, thought or feeling, so that it is satisfactorily received and understood. If somebody don't understand what you're saying, then you have not effectively communicated. Too often we think communication means talking, and it is much more than that. Communication is not simply talking at someone. It is two people having the same understanding of the information that is shared. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and thought you were on the same page, only to find out later you are nowhere near the same understanding in a conversation? You were nowhere near the same understanding of the conversation as the person you were speaking with. What happened? A breakdown in communication. Ineffective communication causes misunderstandings, confusion, and a feeling of separation between the people. In the beauty and wellness industry, and that is the industry that I will refer to mainly because that's my trade. This industry that I've been in, that I've shifted, that I'm in, that I'm skilling in, that I'm doing a lot of work in, that I speak to a lot. But put your industry in there as the filler. Need be if you are, in another field. Ineffective communication can mean the loss of a client, therefore the loss of potential income. Communication is a much more than simple than simply the words we say. There are actually three categories of communication to consider, which is verbal, vocal, nonverbal. Verbal, vocal, and nonverbal. Let's start with verbal. According to 7-38-55 rule developed by the UCLA profession, Albert, and 7% of the communication process is based on the actual words we choose to say. That's 7%. That's a small percentage. Think about it for a minute. The words you read, the words that your instructor speaks, the words you speak to a client, the text you send is only 7% of a person's understanding of a message is based on those actual words. Next is vocal. This refers to rate, pitch, tone, volume, pace that we speak. 38% of this. That's why they're saying of the message is how we say it. Did your mother say, don't use that tone with me? And I know if you got a teenager, oh my goodness, that is something that is being said. What you said? Oh, you can say what you're saying, but you can't say it like that. It wasn't what you said, it was how you said it. Verbal communication is exactly what she was talking about. This concept doesn't always come across when we text someone, does it? No, it doesn't. People can think you talking in one tone and you in a completely tone you're not even with that, but that's why that is definitely important. For example, what does it mean when you type in all caps? It means that you are really passionate about what you're saying, or the person can say they're responding by, don't yell at me. Texting provides only a limited variety of options to show how excited we might be about something, but your voice can convey a whole lot more. And I didn't know that all the time. When I learned that in a college class, a writing class, all caps, when the professor was like, don't use all caps because that means you're yelling. Okay, so that's inappropriate or whatever. I didn't know that. I learned that in school. So, now we know for the most part. Using vocal communication with the client means you must consider not only what you are saying to your client, but how you're saying it. Are you monotone or are you varying your pitch? Do you speak softly? The client has a hard time hearing you? Or do you talk loud? Do you talk so loud that it disturbs the client 3 stations down? Last but not least is not. Last but not least is not is your body language, facial expressions, professional is your body language, facial expressions, professional image, gestures, posture, and so forth. It is the way you dress. It is eye contact. It's the rolling of the eyes, shrugging of the shoulders, and even can be the music you hum to throughout the day. Mm-hmm. All right. Take some time to think through this message. FYI, a core of this difference is eye contact. In America, we associate eye contact with good manners. And if someone fails to make eye contact with us, we think they are not paying attention to us. Asian countries, however, eye contact is considered abrasive and disrespectful. Now, that is something to know because I am big on that eye contact. But if I go to Asia, I need to know don't be giving nobody no eye contact like that because they'll think I'm rude and disrespectful. You got to know what is going on. You got to know where you at. But we are in America right now. Hello to any Asians if y'all out there or whatever. Let us know if you in any other country and you can give us some feedback, understanding how y'all view eye contact in your country. But guess what? In America, we definitely look at that as respect, and it looks like trustworthiness because you can read a person, in their eyes. It's the window to the soul. Make it seem like you ain't got nothing to hide when you look a person dead in their eye, that they hand, how you doing? Yes. So keep comfortable eye contact though. Eye contact regulates the flow of communication. Just like me, I gotta make sure that I'm giving eye contact so you can know I'm here, not just I'm looking away, I'm looking over here. It shows others that you are interested in what he or she is saying and puts the other at ease, feeling that you are truthful and credible. When working with clients, do not stand behind the chair, speak to them through the mirror. Move where you can look at them eye to eye. This will help and build it. Strive for an unstressed and unfriendly facial expression. Light smile transmit happiness, friendliness, and warmth, and react favorably to even the slight smile. Comfortable around you, and you will want to listen more. Okay, use gestures. Using some gestures indicate a lively understanding, like that. You want to stay away from like covering your face or anything when you're talking, but this is good. Yes, use it, get into it. Watch posture and body orientation. You communicate numerous messages by the way you talk and move, standing tall, erect, and leaning forward while speaking. Mean I am getting into this conversation. We are getting into this lesson. We are breaking through our business. That social each other, area within three, we are literally engaging. Like, because some people do get uncomfortable and then invasive. Okay. Getting the communication process right is important because it is the way you and your clients feel integrated and on the same page with each other. It is the basis of trust. So much of the language is unspoken, and that is the his part. So much of the language is composed of looks and gestures and sounds that are not words. The words are the 7%. Who are ignorant of this vast complex in their own communication, says the author producer Garth Stein. So active listening. Okay, active listening. Now let's take that. Let's go a step further. For effective communication to occur, both parties must have the same understanding of the message and make sure that we are both understanding the message, that we practice active listening. Listening skills are important, more important. They're just as important as speaking skills. We must use active listening skills to be sure of what a client wants. You got to hear them out. We are not talking about hearing and listening are two different things. Okay, when we hear, we simply perceive the sounds, but when we listen, we are choosing to actively receive and interpret that sound and make the sound mean something. Okay, in other words, we're looking for the meaning behind the words. We use active listening is listening with a purpose. Active listeners spend their time listening and not talking. We can all work on it. Some people are gifted at it. Hats off to you. Don't finish other sentences. Don't answer the question with a question. Are present for the client without daydreaming. Are not preparing their response while the other is talking. Do not dominate the conversation. Provide feedback and do not interrupt instantly. Summarize the conversation to be sure the meaning is correct. To listen effectively, we must focus on what the speaker is saying and not formulate a response in our head. Focus on what they're saying so you can hear what they are saying. Lord, work on me even the more. Okay. Not formulate the response in our head. We need to wait until they are finished. Do not interrupt them. We must learn to restate and confirm. That means you'll say back to them, the client, what you'll repeat back what you heard and said, and they will confirm that you're correct. Okay, in this lesson, the next lesson, a few lessons down, like 2 lessons from here, we're gonna do an assessment to teach you how to communicate clearly with your client. It is a series of questions that when you ask the client, it'll help you discover his or her needs or wants. So that's what you definitely want to do too. When the client answers these questions, it's critical that you practice active listening. Listen closely to what he or she is saying, and then you will restate and confirm so that you have a clear understanding of what the client needs are. To be successful, first in school and then in your shop, salon, spa experience, or wherever you're working at, it is critical that you learn to practice effective communication with your clients. In order to serve a client, you must establish the relationship with the client. You must build trust and rapport, and you must understand the client's need, and you must provide a solution to meet their needs. Jay Levingston, the lecturer and author of Guerrilla Marketing. This is good. Now we're tapping into things about how to market. How to market when you're marketing, okay? That's converting and turning into sales. Build the trust and the rapport. It is. Hold on, okay. If y'all have done your homework, make sure you share, send it in. Let me know that you did it. Write answers, comment section, whatever you want to do. Let's get it. Let's get into it because we have review questions at the end of the chapters too. So building trust and rapport is just a fact. Go live about each lesson. Like after the lessons, go live. Share what you learned, what you got. Share it in our group, in our family, or tag me in it. And yeah, let's get it. Let's go. It's just a fact. Human beings are more likely to listen to, trust, and respect people that they feel know and have shared interests with than those that don't. So right from the very beginning of your relationship with a client, you want to start building trust and rapport. To do this, let's explore the system called pacing. Like, take your time. And even me, I feel like I be moving too fast, so I got to pace myself too, because when you move too fast, it just kind of seems like, and especially because everybody's so used to being lied to and misled. It's like, just take your time. Let a person fill you out. Let them do what they need to do. This system will help you get to know your clients and build a trust and rapport with them. Basically, that means you and your client will operate at the same speed and tempo in terms on relating and understanding each other. Same speed and tempo. Pacing, history. One of the first things you can look at when meeting a client is the similarities in your background. For example, you'll naturally look for similarities in where you both live, the school you attended, the place to shop, the interests you have. Maybe you even know some of the same people. The more instances you can find that are similar to your client, the more relatedness you'll experience. Pacing agreement. Agreement pacing is a technique that you could definitely use throughout your client meeting time. Agreement pacing assumes that you will tell a person three relative things that he or she knows or believes to be true. That fourth thing you say will be accepted without question. Prior to making your recommendations, repeat back to the client and you will hear them say, most likely hear them say that they like, dislike, or would like to change about their hair, skin, nails, or anything. And they will agree with you because you are simply relaying the information that they told you was true. This leads to a conversation to the next thing you'll say, which will be, may I make my recommendation? Watch. They will nod their head in agreement and say yes, accepting your recommendations without question. We will go into more details in about 3 more lessons. Pacing emotional. Emotional pacing is the practice of assessing a person's emotions and feelings, and then raising or lowering your own emotional feeling levels to match theirs. When a client is in your chair, if he or she is calm and relaxed and you're really intense and more energetic than she is, an awkward feeling develops. You want to take a minute to see where your client is at and match her intensity. The matching of energy opens the channel for an easy flow of communication. So you might got to bring it up, bring it down. They might need to bring it up so y'all can meet and you can flow. Because you know when some clients be up, and then you might got to bring them down a little bit, and you might got to come up a little bit because it's like we got to meet so that way this can be a experience and exchange for both of us. Pacing, tone, and tempo. To really have a chance to share the information with your clients, you will want to match their tone and their tempo. You want to speak with the same enthusiasm they do, in the same tone they're using, with the same words, and at the speed that they're using. Go too much faster or slower than their tone and tempo will risk you losing attention and to distractions. Mirroring and matching. Mirroring and matching is 2 techniques that you can use to put your clients at ease. Mirroring is using to get the same tempo and pace with your clients. Basically, you will do what they do. If they lean forward, then you can lean forward. If they become excited about a photo, you become excited about it. If they begin to whisper, then you whisper your response back. Mirroring the client helps you then realize that you understand them and what they are expecting. Yeah, they are respecting that, and that you are respecting their reactions and their emotions, which is always a good thing. With the matching, you use the same body parts as the clients. For example, if she's touching her hair with the right hand, you touch her hair with the right hand. This action helps to count. The client feels comfortable and like he or she is doing something correctly. So, the summary of this lesson is basically, it's invaluable. Look at how you communicate with your clients to build their trust, thus their loyalty as well. You're introduced to communicating. You're introduced to what communication is and how it can affect your relationship with clients. You learn important information about building trust, establishing rapport with your clients using various paces, and you have begun learning some techniques, some important concepts you will use later in this program. When you tackle the needs assessment. So these are the review questions that you can answer. You can do it in video form, and you can share it and drop it in the I Am Tiffany Empowerment family. You can create a TikTok, email it in, just get it to me. We have review questions at the end of each one. Again, this is the challenge, so let's share it. Let's work together so we can break on through. Number 1, this 4 questions. Define communication. How is it important in dealing with clients? Number 2, list the types of nonverbal communication that be effective in communication process in the salon and spa setting. Number 3, define active listening and explain how it is useful in the salon or spa. And whatever, the salon and spa can be replaced with whatever your business industry is. Number 4, list 6 ways to build trust and rapport with your clients. So we've talked about SMART goals, successful habits, accountability, and today was communication. So focus on communicating effectively with your fellow co-workers, classmates, students, your instructors. Take notes to see how others not practicing effective communication have you feel, in the end. Make a note of the pacing theory concepts. And then we about to get into this next lesson. So I'll be back. And the next lesson is going to be, so we just went from communication. Now we about to go into customer service. And that'll be our 5th lesson. And I'm super excited. If you're excited, ready, let's go. Comment, let's get it. And I will see y'all in the next lesson.